the party kind of lay in wait to see if they would pass or not. But when it came too close and they noticed us, there was an exchange of gunfire. Numerous guns were jammed, grenades were thrown, machine guns covered, destroyed, and unfortunately, Wilson took a round through the where his flak jacket would have been, puncturing a lung. And one could say that the situation is
Oh,
Getting dicey.
I see a montage of all the different drop-ins to the intro, like over the years.
I wasn't ready for it. Where's my camera? Where's my camera going?
Where's your camera?
You definitely weren't ready for it.
Oh.
You lost your face.
Why is my camera not going?
It's a cool picture though.
There we go. I'm back.
Hey.
I don't know why that disappeared when I did that, but anyway, we are back. Drop Shadow's head, nailed it. Yeah, I wasn't expecting that. I had there's a button. I've got a little button that says intro on it. I had to quickly find that.
It's because I left you hanging that time.
Yeah. Good to see you in the chat there, Drop. Thank you so much for joining us. So what was the very last thing that happened? Oh, that's right. Friggin' two guns. Had found himself with two jammed guns. So he dropped them, grabbed his little knife that he stole off the Soviet soldier, and went running in, and just like stabbed into the dude in behind the tree, behind the cover, to which the other guy just threw his hands up into the air, gun onto the ground, and surrendered. And I think that was it, right? That was the last thing that occurred.
I didn't know how to segue into the intro with that one, so I just thought we'll come back. We'll circle back around.
It doesn't feel like it's getting dicey when we've taken care of the threat. Yeah.
If you change the podcast, the show to being like, dealing with stuff, or stuff has been dealt with.
True.
Post circumstances.
Yeah.
That's track 8 on that emo album. Post circumstances.
Was there a little one-liner at the very last second that we wondered around if the 150 heard all this gunfire and grenades? And
and we rolled. I think we rolled.
Did we lucky die it?
So about four things up in the chat bar. Miller says no.
I
think that was it.
Yeah, that was the key one.
Yeah, which was very, very tense. But we now have Wilson. We've got a soldier down on the ground surrendering. We've got Wilson down on the ground surrendering. His blood into the earth, and a medic, which I think Miller's just gonna like grab the nearest gun off the soldier that's on the ground, that's dead on the ground, and just tuck it under his shoulder, put his knife back into his into a little sheath on his thigh, and he's just going to be aiming it at that soldier while he's like scrabbling around with the medic, trying to find some sort of medic kit of some sort.
Yep. Davis is going to sling the rifle, run over to Wilson, and like do a quick triage, and like kind of like tapping here, and it's like, how you feeling? Where's it hit?
Wilson will like cough out some blood.
Good, better out than in, mate.
And not say anything comprehensible. From last time, he had a punctured lung, as that damages a lot of his confidence in speaking in public places or to his comrades. So he's just going to suffer quietly as he's going to hunker down behind the damaged 2-wheel drive car, which has taken us so safe, so well so far. And he's just going to sputter.
Is it safe to say that if you're searching a medic for some sort of medical surgical kit or med kit, they probably have one?
I reckon this medic is guaranteed to have a medic kit. It's whether they have more than one.
Oh, nice.
Okay. Should we do lucky dice? Is there more than one?
Stack it, I reckon.
Stack it?
Yeah, like as a medic, I reckon it's likely that he'd have more than one. So maybe if it's normally, was it 1 and 6 is a standard lucky dice, right?
Yeah.
Stack it just 1 in the direction of probably 2.
Or how about we go 1, and then if it says yes, there's another.
We do
But
another
if
roll.
it doesn't extreme yes, he's also got something like antibiotics.
Okay,
Oh.
yeah, cool. We'll do that because that's how it deals with it, right? It's like extreme no,
Yeah.
yes, and extreme yes. Okay, let's roll. It's a yes, just a standard yes. So he's got more than 1.
Still
Is that
take
right?
that.
Yeah. So he opens up the medic's bag and is happy to see that there's 2 med kits still sealed and ready to go, which he grabs out. He walks over to the other soldier that's on the ground. And he's like poking him with the gun and shouting for him to like stand up. Get up, on your feet. And this guy's like bleeding from the arm, right? He got shot in the arm, I think.
Yeah.
And he's just gonna like shout at him to drop the gun, like he's tapping the gun, his rifle against the other guy's guns, to just make sure it's like away from it, kicks it away from him. Get your feet, and he's basically gonna march him back to you at a pace. He doesn't want this guy to get away, or cause any possible issues.
Davis is like, hey, Wilson, just apply pressure here. I'll be right back. I just need to help Miller. And it's going to rush over. Is there any... That guy looked like he was a medic or something. Is there a... I just need to check him for a mid-kit. Wilson's not too bad.
Yeah, Miller's like... points, sort of tilts his head to under his arm. He's trying to show you the med kits that he's grabbed.
Yep, Davis is just going to grab both of those and at the same time kind of look at the soldier and... Shit, okay, I got to deal with that as well. Fuck. Runs back to Wilson, carrying the 2 med kits. Now, yeah, looking here, like, Davis can see that this is a punctured lung and knows how to deal with it. And even has a surgery kit in the boot of the car, but knows that to deal with this is going to take about a stretch.
Oh, dang.
Okay.
And he's like, okay, mate, we're in a bit of a situation, guys. We can deal with it, Wilson. But it's going to make you aware. We've got 2 options. 1, I can try and deal with this here. It's going to take some time. But I can work with... I've got a medical kit. You'll be okay. The other option is we can try and get somewhere safer. But I'm not going to lie. It's going to hurt like shit to move you.
There's an acknowledgement of understanding in Wilson's eyes, but he's not up to monologuing an eloquent reply at this stage.
Miller is a little concerned about this Soviet soldier that is with us now. And he says, like, Davies, what are we going to do with this guy? I can't just let him go. His group's just there.
Look, we've got a car. He doesn't. They don't even hear the gunfire. They're not going to hear this guy. If we get Wilson in the car, we can get into Zig. Oh, fuck it. We can get into that city over there. We can get across the bridge, and we just need somewhere that we can hole up, and he can lie down for a bit, not in the middle of a field.
I'm just unsure whether they're going to still be, or how long it's going to take for those soldiers to pass through. There's a lot of them.
Have they? Because here's the thing: each of the hexes is 10k. So, as long as the soldiers are off the bridge, there's the chance that our little group would be able to sneak around the edge of the 10k.
Right. Yeah, totally.
And get into the back of the town.
Yeah.
If everyone's happy with that. Otherwise, maybe it's still too busy.
With the car?
Yeah, with the car. Maybe we have to lucky die it.
Yeah, maybe.
Or oracle it.
Miller is really frustrated, and he's kind of like pacing back and forth behind this Soviet soldier, and he's looking over towards the bridge, and he's looking sort of off towards the tree line where 2 of this guy's dead soldier friends are as well. He's just like, fuck. Fuck.
Wait, we could just throw him in the boot. We'll take him with us.
Yeah, Miller takes a little sort of moment to like pause. He's like, yeah, okay.
More bacon.
Hmm?
More bacon.
More bacon. If he's in there eating our bacon, I'll be furious.
So help me. Hold on, I'm just gonna grab their stuff. We might. I know we've been firing off a lot of rounds. I don't know about you. Your guns don't sound happy. Hold on, I'm just gonna grab their gear. I'll be right back. You keep them covered.
Yeah.
We'll pack it all into the back seat, and then throw them in the boot.
Yeah. Can we have like some sort of card, an oracle card or something, just to let us know what sort of attitude this soldier has? Reese, do you want to pull that and keep it private?
Yeah,
and
let's
kind of you detail his actions.
Oh, did I do that publicly?
Yeah.
Yes, I did. Okay.
That's okay.
Alright. Well, I don't know how to do it privately, so pretend something happened.
Oh, yeah. You could on that roll-on table. You can like choose from a table, and I think the oracle cards are in there. And then
okay.
you can click private. And
Okay. Okay, I'll do that. Thank you.
But Davis is gonna run over and grab some loot from these dead guys real quick. I'm just gonna check what they've got. AK. It's like an AK and mags. What's this guy got? And a pistol. Sweet.
Cool. All right. I figured out how to roll privately. And if you want to interact with Mr. Guard, I'll personify him.
Yeah. Okay, what is he going to do? He's going to... he's still just sort of waiting for Davies to come back with all of the equipment, just so he can get it into the car. I think what he'll do is he'll walk around to the passenger side, just keeping the gun trained on the soldier. He's just going to lean in and try and like reach for the little latch to open up the boot.
When Davis gets back, he is going to pop his guns down by Wilson, and then he's going to head over to the soldier before he's put in the boot, and just kind of like fold back part of his uniform, and just point at his little red cross thing, showing that he's a medic, and then pointing at the guy's arm, because the guy's been shot. He at least wants to try and stabilize him. It's like I need to look at your arm, your arm, but wrap it.
Ouch! You can see recognition in his eyes. He doesn't have enough language skills to reply properly, but he can pretty much understand what you're saying. And he's
pointing at the little cross.
Yeah, he's not being a pain.
Okay.
Yeah, but Davis has made sure that they have removed their weapons in case the person did want to try to be silly about this.
Yeah.
Right, so I'm going to try and do a medical aid just to try and stem the bleeding. Yeah. Not using a med kit, though. Oh wow,
whoa.
I heal the shit out of them.
Whoa, damn. This guy's now ripped with muscles. He just picks the car up and puts it back on the road.
Nice. Thanks,
Yeah, so
man.
it's a matter of like tearing off bits of jersey and stuff and just applying tourniquets and patching him up as best he can. It's like that's not going to be perfect, but that he shouldn't bleed out in the boot anymore.
Yeah, nice. Once that's completed, the soldier will just pull up his combat shirt and just show that there's nothing around his waist. And then very slowly he's going to put his arms down towards his ankles. And he's going to pull out a couple of rounds and just give them to you.
Oh, okay. He's very compliant. This is good. I don't think Miller cares. Like, he's still concerned. He's very concerned about Wilson. And he's being quite like, By the way, do we take stress or anything, or did we take stress for what happened?
We did take stress from watching Wilson get
That's
nailed.
right. That's right.
It's funny because Wilson has really low health, but really high stress tolerance, whereas Miller has really high health and really low stress tolerance at the moment. And Davis is
and
kind of middly.
Miller is like stressed out, so that's why he's kind of acting a bit more twitchy. The boot's popped open, and he makes his way towards the back of the car, really concerned about Wilson down on the ground. But he's just focused. Get this guy into the boot. And so he just comes up with the gun raised. He's like, in the boot, get in the boot, in the car. And he's pointing you in the car, like pointing the barrel of the gun towards the soldier and then like to the boot.
The soldier will be like, "Brum brum," and he'll hop in the car, and he'll even shut the boot on himself.
Okay, he's very compliant.
Yep. Okay. Down with it.
All right. Okay.
All right. Gonna try and help Wilson into the back seat.
Yeah.
Now, mechanically, if you try and move someone who has a critical wound,
They die instantly.
they have to make a death save potentially.
Oh,
Oh
what?
shit. Okay.
This is what I mean by it might hurt like hell.
So is he considered in a broken state right now, or is he still not in a broken
Funny
state?
thing, I think you've still got 1 health, so you're not broken.
Yeah.
Ah, interesting. Okay.
However, what happens is, okay, so if you're trying to treat a critical wound, it takes the amount of time as the critical wound would cause, or is lethal. So a punctured lung is lethal in 1 shift. So to treat it would take 1 shift.
Oh wow.
Whereas Davis is just saying, oh, there's a lot to monitor and whatnot. So that's
Yeah.
his way of saying it'll take a shift.
So does that mean if it takes us a shift before we get started, he's gonna die?
If we sit here for a shift and not do anything, he's going to die.
Oh, damn.
Or he's going to start making death saves.
Yeah. Gotcha. Okay.
So if we move him, he has to make if I get to make a medical aid roll, and if I succeed, that's fine. But if I fail, then he has to make a stamina save or stamina roll.
Okay.
However, with a punctured lung, you have -2 stamina at the moment.
Uh-huh.
Oh dang! All right.
So, yeah. Davis is going to just super carefully try and
He's gonna
maneuver.
like Miller's gonna help as well.
Yep.
Sort of. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, we didn't need to worry about the Soviet chap. He's in the boot.
Yeah.
So I'll do a medical with
He's
+1 for help. This
in the
isn't going
boot
to heal you.
singing
This
some
is just we don't
Soviet
kill you.
songs. Very happy. So yeah.
Fingers
go for the
crossed.
roll. Okay.
I'm gonna push that, and Davis, as he is lifting up, he starts hearing this wheezing noise, and he's like, "Shit! Hold on! Wait! Whoa, slow this down! Whoa! Hold on!"
And Miller just like stops, like freezes.
It's like, hold on, just scoots the seat forward as far as it goes to try and get him into our little 2-door Montero. Push. Oh wow!
There we go.
Yeah. That's what we want.
Just had to
And
put
yeah,
the
just
seat back.
maneuvering it now, and like he's kind of like, quickly, Miller, get round to the other side, and I'll pass him along. You hold him by the shoulders and just keep him upright.
Miller runs around to the other side,
man.
opens up the door, and just does everything he can to make this as like smooth and as delicate of a process as possible.
So we thankfully managed to get Wilson into the car without killing him. So that's a good start.
Mm-hmm.
Now we need to get into town.
Yeah, I want to like work on these jammed guns as well. What do we have to do to unjam a gun?
To unjam it, you need to make a weapon roll as though you're attacking.
Oh. But a rate of fire of 0, I assume?
Yeah, so you can't add ammo dice. So what I reckon, if you jump in the passenger seat, Davis will drive. Try and keep it nice and carefully, keeping out an eye for potholes and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You unjam it, and then he's just going to find some shelter.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Let's try and unjam the M249.
Ugh.
I'm going to assume that it was not an unjam.
What happens with that? Ammo dice, NPC? No, ammunition dice.
Just break off the safety.
You roll 2 or more things, then it jams. So we did that.
Yeah,
And
definitely
reduce the
jammed.
thing until the jam is cleared, can't be fired. Clearing the jam is slow action, requires a skill. Multiple attempts are allowed. So, okay, so 2 fails, hasn't done anything, but you're allowed to try again later.
Right, so he's just gonna. There's no point rolling. It'll just take him,
Effectively, no.
it'll take him some time. Probably like the majority of the drive. He's just like he's too stressed out. Like the fact that these guns and the fact that he had to like get up close and murder someone. Wilson's got bullet holes. He's like shaking and stressed out, and he's swearing and muttering as he's working on these 2 guns. He's like somehow he's combined the 2 guns for a moment, and he's gonna like disassemble them and.
Voltron guns. I reckon
Yeah.
if we're taking like half an hour or something just to get into Zig, it's still within the shift, so Wilson is not feeling better, but you've definitely got time to clear the guns and
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
disassemble and reassemble everything
Yeah.
awkwardly in this little 2-door.
Yeah, yeah. It's not an easy thing to do, and it takes him the good part of the entire drive into Brzek.
I reckon we can move our token across, but then
That's a very big token.
yeah, we're in the same spot as the third, but we're not in the same spot.
They're moving very slowly. They're only moving as fast as their infantry. So the vehicles are sort of like slowly behind them, moving slowly behind them. But they are moving. They're following the road, right? So I'd say by the time we get in, they're still like 1.5 kilometers ahead of us. And we're going to have to just go just as slowly for that 2 kilometers as well. So I'd say that 2 kilometers, just that moving in, would probably take a good, like, I don't know, half an hour or so, I guess.
And I'm actually just going to roll a coolness under fire for Davis because he's just really trying to focus on keeping the road, not drawing attention, looking out for this building, and he knows that the hard work is just about to happen. Yeah, so understandably, he's feeling the stress. I'm going to take a point of stress on that.
Yeah, I think Wilson will do a coolness under fire as well. Like, he's realized that this is a serious injury. Davis couldn't patch him up immediately, and the pain isn't going away. So he's going to roll that. And gain a point of stress.
I don't want to gain a point of stress because then I'll go into PTSD mode and probably jump out of the moving vehicle. So.
Maybe you're like focused in, like this is your happy place, taking apart a saw and putting it back together again.
Yeah. He's trying to block out the rest of the world. But I mean, I should be doing a coolness under fire to see if he can block out the rest of the world.
Surely it's like meditative taking apart a machine gun for you.
Do it with advantage for 2 guns disassembling 2 guns.
I'm just going to do a normal roll.
Oh, thank goodness.
Ooh, that could have been very bad.
Davis is sitting there. It's like, okay, so you've got a lethal wound. You're like checked out mentally.
Yeah. We good. Is there a way to... It's only just resting to get rid of stress, right? It's a shift of rest to get rid of stress?
Yeah, if you get broken, someone can roll command to snap you out of it.
Oh, like if I was like broken through to stress. Yeah. All right. Okay.
Like, yeah, if Davis is driving along and then all of a sudden just hears the clickety clack of you disassembling guns stop and you're just staring out the window, it's like, okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to stage an intervention.
Yeah, okay. So yeah, we managed to like peel off the main road the first chance we get off to the right. So like, and hopefully we're thinking there's no way that these soldiers would have gone to the north, considering the amount of Well, I guess we're just hoping. We don't know. Did we decide which way they were definitely going? We did, right?
Yeah,
They're
they were
heading
heading
south,
down to
right?
regroup south.
Yeah. So I guess our characters don't know exactly where they're going. So we've just gone off to the right, and we're thinking, look, if we just lay low, we can fix up Wilson, and then we can sort of stake out the road again after.
Yeah, like when we were watching them, they seem to be following the road. So as soon as Davis can, it's just going to peel off to the right, kind of out around the outskirts of the town or city, whatever this is, and just look for one of the first mostly intact buildings that they can find.
Yeah, cool.
We can also park up the car.
Cool.
And so lo and behold, they do. They find a inside of a what appears to be an abandoned burb of sorts. A number of buildings have been bombed out, but they do, driving along, there's one where there's at least a couple of rooms that look like the roof is still intact. Maybe the facade of the building is a bit busted, but it looks more intact at the back. And so Davis pulls in around and just kind of parks the car up away from street view. It's like, right now we got to try and rethread him back out of this car. So, are you good?
Good work finding the surgical rooms, Davis.
Yep. Only the finest facilities, buddy. Just wait for the bill to come in.
Okay.
So we got to move him again.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we did this last time, Davis. So let's just do what we did last time.
Yep. All right. On my mark. 3, 2, 1. Lift. Whoa.
Wait.
I think he's caught. He's caught again.
On the gear stick. The gear stick's gone into his lungs.
Davis is going to reach in, just like get his knife out and cut away part of the flak jacket. So it's going to really need some repair work. But this cut away his backpack as well. Make sure there's nothing that's going to catch anywhere. And it's going to push that.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm talking
Yeah.
This is actually stressful for me.
about.
I don't want to get Wilson.
Okay.
So we get him inside, and it's a matter of just finding a flat enough surface. And I think that there would be a table that just sweep off all the dust and try and get down like a blanket. And inside the surgical kit, thankfully, there is like a plastic sheeting. So Davis is ripping through this surgical kit, getting all the bits and pieces out. It's like,
Miller is like opening up Wilson's clothing now. It's just like tearing open his shirt, cutting open his shirt to like make sure we can get unobstructed view of what's happening.
right. So as much as I said, I'm going to teach you how to be a medic there. Miller, here's your chance.
He's like sweating. Okay.
So the good news, Wilson, the bullet went straight through. The bad news is that your lung is trying to suck air into your chest and is compacting itself. There's actually a gap, a cavity between your lung and the chest wall, and I just need to put a bit of a hole in that to release some of the pressure, which will help with your breathing.
I trust you, man.
Did I Google battlefield punctured
Dude,
lung
so good.
today?
Love it.
Do you need a Bic pen as well?
You can do it.
Poosh.
But thankfully he's got the surgical kit, which will give +1.
Nice. What would a Bic pen give?
+2. So this is the roll to see whether, and whilst I'm doing this, Millie, you might just want to check on our friend, maybe bring them in or something. I don't think we should leave them in the car I'm going to be here a while, just to monitor.
He'll be fine.
Wilson.
He'll be fine
Okay.
in the car.
I'll focus on this.
I don't want to be. Oh, nice.
So good.
Miller sort of is trying to explain, like he's just like chatting and blabbering about, I can't be looking after babysitting. He's concerned about what he's clearly still very, very stressed out as you start getting to work on Wilson.
Yeah, so one of the things he does is he's got this kind of almost like an adhesive, and he pops one on the exit wound, and he pops the other one on the front side and pokes a little hole. And there's a moment where Wilson maybe is like, it's still not quite right. So Davis just pulls back this adhesive and just pushes a bit, and it kind of like burps a little bubble of blood and gas escape from the hole, and he reapplies the adhesive. And otherwise, he's just going to keep monitoring this for the next few hours. The good news is, mechanically, no longer have a punctured lung. Sorry, a lethal punctured lung. You still have a punctured lung. And it will be with you for 2d6 days.
Whoa.
Oh, dang.
So do you want to roll that?
Yes, I don't. So, to clarify, it's now permanently not lethal, but it's still remained as punctured lung for this many days, yeah?
Yep. So what happens is if every time you treat a critical wound, the length of time for it to be lethal goes up one. So this one was a shift, and that's the last one. If you can treat a shift one, it stops being lethal. But some of them are round, and so you've got 5 seconds to save this person, and then they'll last for 15 minutes. And then you got 15 minutes to save them for 6 hours. And
Oh, that's cool.
Cool.
Right.
All right, let's roll it. Total of 6 out of 2d6.
Yeah, so for the next 6 days, you're at -2 stamina and -2 mobility.
Wow.
Okay.
So this is taking you a shift to do, is that right?
Yep, so this is 4 hours. Like, the actual treating was quite quick, but then just monitoring to make sure he stabilizes. It takes the rest of the shift. So I think we're probably getting into early evening now.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Yeah, because we left around lunch or something, I think.
Yeah.
At around this time, you hear just a slight snore coming from the car.
Oh, so sweet. Hope he's dreaming of soldiers. Miller is like has found a seat, and he's just sort of like sitting with his head in his hands, just sort of like stressed out about Wilson, and just he's hoping everything's going to be okay, and he's checking the time. Davis, when do we want to get out? Are we going to stay here the night, or are we going to like move on?
We can go, but we just can't move. We'll just maybe once it gets dark, we'll try and move north. But I want to make sure that Wilson's okay.
I'd say with 4 hours having now passed, the group would easily be at like the next crossroads, south of the city.
They've had a shift.
Yeah, but they won't be out of there for another shift. So it's just like, well, I think Miller will be understanding that with the at the pace that those guys are going, we might need to just bunker down here through the night, especially if it means Wilson can just rest up.
Did you guys say don't move me for a while? Thank you.
Yeah, buddy, I'm just going to try and patch you up, and he's going to use one of the med kits to try and heal up our friend here. So this is actually for health now, fingers crossed.
Nice.
2 health back.
Nice.
And so we've got 1 kit left.
Okay, cool. Yeah, Miller's still looking pretty stressed, but he walks over to where Wilson is and he says, you just rest up, buddy. And he sort of like puts his hand on your like shoulder, just gently. He's just like rested on there. You just rest up. It's our turn to take a watch and look out for you tonight. All right.
Thanks, guys. Those adhesives did the trick. I'm feeling less. Oh shit. Thank you.
You did good, kid. Right, I think if we get that Soviet in here, we can tie him up. Because I don't. It's not right to leave him in the boot. Look, if we get him in, we'll tie him to something. You get some shut eye. I'll keep watch. I'm going to be watching out over Wilson anyway. We'll just awake if anything happens, but otherwise maybe we need to just wait it out tonight.
Miller's like, understands. He just takes a moment just to like look at the room and Wilson, and he's like, you set up somewhere we can tie him down. I'll go, bro. I'll bring him in, and I'll bring in our like food and stuff as well. And so he disappears, and while he's out there, he's grabbing some backpacks and some of the guns. He comes in first with the backpacks and guns, drops them sort of near the door, and returns to the car with his rifle.
Davis finds lo and behold, a convenient radiator, some piping that's dug into the wall. So moves the packs and the weapons away from that, kind of clears that area so that we can tie him to that. Also sets up a chair where he can keep an eye on Wilson and that guy at the same time.
And Miller is like returns with the soldier sort of walking freely in front of him. Obviously, still holding him at gunpoint, but he walks in with his hands up. He's very compliant. He's saying something in Russian, which I don't think any of us understands. But yeah, Miller will sort of direct him over towards the. He's almost not even holding the gun up at him now because he knows he's going to be compliant. Sits him down at the radiator. And Miller just leans in, and he knows this guy's probably not going to understand it, but he just says, "You're lucky that our friend survived. If he didn't survive, that would have been it for you."
And the soldier replies back, "Lucky."
And takes to just tying him to the radiator.
Yep. Once he's all tied, Davis is again going to just point to his arm and then looking and then give him a once over, see that he's okay. The blood flow has been stemmed. Nothing. He's not going to bleed out in the night or anything like that. And shouldn't be in too much discomfort beyond obviously having a bullet wound or multiple even. Yeah. Do we have a ration pack?
Yeah. We've got Miller's got quite a few. What do we like? He's got like 4 ration packs and 2 bottles of clean water.
Because this is not sitting cleanly on the grid, and it's bothering me now that I'm all zoomed in. So Davis is going to take a ration and water and then head back to the captured soldier. Just indicate.
Miller's like, no. He can go a day or 2 without food. We don't know what's in store for us.
You can't go a day without water, though. At least water.
He can go a day without water. I've gone a day without water before. It wasn't the end of me. I didn't feel great, but it wasn't the end of me.
The soldier's going to rub his stomach and be like,
No. You can find some tomorrow.
weak.
Good.
All right. Well, if you want to
Weak.
rest up,
Good.
both of you rest up. I'll keep the first watch.
Sure. He's like, Davis, I know you want to use our gear on him, but you can't. We're going to let him go tomorrow. We're going to send him north, and he can look after himself. Just please. And Miller just got, you know what? I'll find somewhere around here to sleep. And he pulls his bedroll out of the backpack and finds a corner to sort of like sleep in. He's still so stressed out. He is so, you can see it in the way he's like talking and in his eyes. He's not happy.
Davis is going to have the M16 to one side, but he managed to pull a pistol from one of the Soviets. So he's got that and just kind of checks, yep, loaded, slide checks it, and then settles in. Keeps an ear on Wilson's breathing, keeps an eye on the Russian chap. and once enough time has elapsed, wanders over and offers him some water.
The soldier will take just a sip of water and then pass it back, and he's got a big smile on his face, and he's going to point to his repaired arm and be like,
Can we keep him?
He's
We'll
learning
walk
how
him
to
and we'll feed him.
speak.
I mean, do we want to roll for an encounter just to see if anything happens on a camp overnight?
We kind of have
Yeah.
to, right?
Yes, we do. I'll click it.
Yeah.
Draw encounter card, yeah?
Draw the stationary encounter card because it says whether you do something fancy or just whether it's a normal.
Okay, so let's roll on table to find that one.
Yeah.
Roll on table.
Under encounters stationary.
Okay, cool. And
It
you
might
want
say
that
something like
private?
roll as normal.
Okay. Click it. No.
The third Spitnose come back.
yeah. And throw you all a party.
Lucky.
I clicked it. Encounters stationary.
Mm-hmm.
Aha, cool. All right, we're good. Okay, cool. There's a bunch of text. I'm just reading it.
Okay.
And then maybe an hour passes, everyone's sort of quiet enough, and then you hear a tap tap.
Oh, I hope it's the boar. I hope the boar's there.
Hello!
Not the one we already killed. Jesus.
Yeah.
I'm just also going to make a roll.
Horrifying fever dream of.
Okay, cool. All right, so here there's tap tap, which sounds like someone tapping on a window, and then tap 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 tap, which sounds more like a tapping at the door or a knock from somebody. And then maybe a minute later, there's another tap 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 tap.
Yeah. With the first set of tapping, Miller's already got the pistol pointed in that direction, and then he's just going to back off to not Miller. Davis is going to do that, and then back up to Miller and just kind of like kick him with his shoe, it's like tapping weight.
And he sort of like bolts up and just grabs the AKM that was at his side. What's up? What's going on? What's up? What's happening?
Something's out there. Shh,
Just
something's
like
out there.
gets to his
It's
feet.
probably pitch black in here as well.
Yeah, it might be like a little bit of ambient night light, maybe.
Yep.
But it'll be pretty dark,
But
that's for
it's
sure.
like pretty dark.
Yeah.
I don't know, there's tapping.
He's just
Hello! Hello!
just going to see if we can...
You can hear some local yelling out broken English for hello. Hello!
Should we just keep quiet and wait him out?
Right.
And Miller just sort of like...
Vitam! Hello!
He like... Miller makes his way across the room and just like puts his hand on Wilson, just like, it's okay. It's all right.
I know this one. And Wilson grabs his Polish dictionary and yells out, Vitam! And he points to the dictionary, which says hello, to two guns.
What? How does the person outside act to hearing that?
Shut up! And then the Russian soldier says that as well. Shut up!
Fuck.
And then Wilson's like
Shut
flipping
the
through his
fuck up.
pages. Oh, yeah. Shut up! Wilson says it super brokenly.
Miller just
but
like
then-
puts his hand over Wilson's mouth. Shut up! What are you doing?
And he's pointing to the dictionary, and it says friend. Hello?
Miller makes his way over to like the door with the AKM.
Żywność.
Fuck.
I'm going to put this in the chat because this is a beautiful word. ZYWNOSC.
All right,
So-
I'm going to see if I can see how that's pronounced here. Let's see if we can do our equivalent of
Googly.
Yeah.
It doesn't. I don't think it's going to give me a. I don't think it's going to give me a word for how to pronounce that one. Rolls off the tongue. Says Drop Shadow. Miller's going to just try and crack the door open just a little, just so he can see what's there's back up against the wall. He wants to just open it and just a crack just to see if he can see anything or anyone on the other side.
All right. So as the door is cracked open, you see 4 locals, and they're really thin. They're not wearing a whole lot of clothing. It looks like they've been through a lot, and they're sort of shaking a little bit. They've got empty hands, and as soon as they see the door open, one of the lead males there just kneels down and starts to quickly say a whole bunch in Polish, which you can't quite catch. But you do catch that word friend and food. And then he holds his hands out.
Fuck. And just shuts the door on them. Davis, they look emaciated. They look starving. They're not a threat. They're not a threat that I can tell unless it's some sort of elaborate trap.
I mean, we've got the bacon.
We're not going to give that up, right? We can maybe pass them one of our rations and save the.
We're that close to the 34th. We won't even need our rations. I mean, if we're not here to help people, why do we come to Poland?
There's a great. You've just lobbed something at Miller that he had kind of forgotten, I think. He's like, no, you're right. You're right. Can you cover me while I go out? Just to make sure there's nothing. I just want to get to the boot of the car. You're right.
Well,
We can give them the bacon.
Hold on. I reckon there's probably space that we could have a room that's not the one where we've got everyone in, that we could get these guys into. This is DM talk here, referee talk.
Sure.
Yep. Davis is like, look, why don't we? You said they look.
They're emaciated. There's they've got no weapons. They've barely got clothing.
Oh, shit. Hold. Well, bring them in. I'll give them a check over, and we'll give them some food and send them on their way.
Okay.
You cover us whilst it's all happening.
Miller opens up the door to see the 4 of them standing there, and he's sort of beckons them in. Come in.
They sort of bow a little bit, and they're like, "Dziękuję, thank," and they're gonna very humbly enter the abode. And as soon as they're out of the night cold air, you can tell they're already happier.
Yeah.
Just and Davis is just going to motion for them to back up into that corner, and then he's going to hand the pistol to Miller so that he's unarmed. And again, he's going to just point. He goes, medic, doctor.
Pomoc.
Sure. And then he's just kind of gesture for one to stand to one side and the others to stand apart so that he can look at them one at a time without getting swamped, and Miller can cover them. And he's just going to go over and give them a quick health look over just to see if there's any other problems other than the fact that they just look hungry as hell.
At this, the lead male will talk very quickly in the local dialect to the other 3, and essentially pointing to you occasionally and indicating to follow what they say, and then he'll be the one that steps aside first.
Yep.
And he'll just clear himself to show that he's not carrying any weapons.
Sweet. So Davis is going to give them a look over, and unless there's anything that he needs to do, I don't think we need to roll a medic on this. It's just making sure.
Yeah, they're not hurt or injured in any way, but you can tell it's been a while since they've eaten some decent food.
Miller's going to hand back the pistol back to Davis, and head out to the car. And he comes back in with just like a selection of that stuff that you'd removed from the boar. Not all of it, but a decent amount, more than enough for 4 or 5 people to consume. Is there going to be some sort of system to cook this meat?
Well, often people have used fire to cook meat.
We're inside a building. Like, is it going to be? Is it okay to put light something in here, or is there how destroyed is this? Like a destroyed building of some sort, or?
Well, part of the front was bashed in because Davis was looking for one that did look run down, but at the same time, the back half of it was fine. I mean, we could set up a fire a few houses down, maybe, and they can cook it there.
As soon as the refugees see that you've brought meat in and that you're willing to offer it to them, they're elated, and they say a whole bunch, and too quick for Wilson or anyone else to translate. But you do catch one word, which is "wujjensne," which after like 5 minutes, Wilson translates to "grateful."
Right.
And they even offer the troop a rumor, which is a system in the game with a broken link. So I'm not sure how it works, but since the PCs has helped them out, they offer them a rumor.
Oh.
Wait, a Roomba, like a little
Vacuum.
cleaning robot?
Automated. So this could be a tip for a local faction about their presence, or a +1 on the roll for a given table. Then I assume there's some other rumor part.
Oh,
of the
rumor.
game.
Oh, yeah.
I reckon
So local information.
This might be like the information they've needed in regards to where this the 3GD were heading. So it's kind of like real broken English, a lot of back and forth with Wilson, but that there was comms heard that where this group was heading. So it's confirmation to the PCs that there's going to hopefully be a clear road north in the morning.
As that interaction goes forth and you feel like it's completed the rumor, the Soviet soldier pipes up with "South," and that lines up with the story that the refugees have been speaking about.
Miller, I think, has set up that little cooking station that he'd used earlier, and he's just doing little bits of this meat one at a time and sort of cooking it up, handing it out to the different group, and he's able to do multiple pieces per person, and I think there's really nice broken conversation, real basic conversation that is spreading, and there's a little bit of laughter at trying to the absurdity of the situation. And I think throughout all of that and the situation at hand, Miller is starting to de-stress a little bit, to the point where he notices even there's probably enough food for us as well, just more than just the rations that we've had to survive on, and you know what, and probably even enough to go. He puts it onto a little piece of cloth, some pieces of this meat, and he hands it to you, Davis, and he sort of go on, and points over to the Soviet soldier.
Davis will just give you a nod and head over to our captive. Hot.
And at that the Russian soldier is very thankful and smiles and eats it, and he says, "Vlorlitz."
I'm sure he does.
And Wilson,
Didn't expect any less.
although he doesn't have a Polish dictionary, is like, that's a really good one. What he said.
Okay, good. Good.
Well, for the first time in a while, Davis feels good. Like, actually good.
Yeah. What are we gonna do with them? We still need to rest up before morning. And he's looking at the time. We've spent a few hours here with this group.
Davis is going to go around and try and find curtains and blankets and clothes or anything, any kind of scrappy things that he can, just to give to these people to help cover themselves up. But then he's like, you gotta go.
And the lead male from the group of refugees there goes up to talk to Polish dictionary guy, and he says a whole big paragraph or something, and Wilson's nodding and trying to pick up like most of it, and he picks up a few keywords, and he hears dot, which is the, and I can't say that one.
Give it a go.
Vlielki.
Okay.
And Pjodne. And from that, after a bit of time, they sort of get across the meaning that they typically live in the south part of Brzeg, and the third group had kicked them out of their location, which is why they've got nowhere for this evening, and that they'll be able to go back to their house eventually because the third group is heading off to the south. And with that, they make more grateful gestures, and then they see themselves out.
Cool. Miller goes back to his bedroll, lies back down. For the first time in a wee while, he's just kind of like smiles to himself, and he can already feel the stress disappearing, and that this sleep is going to be a good one.
Davis will resume the watch.
Cool.
Although with a full belly now, so, and again, feeling like it's just a small thing, but he's managed to make a slight difference to someone. Like his time here has had some benefit to someone. Tangible.
Cool. I guess the night passes. How long is a shift? It's 4 to
It's
6
like
hours.
4 to 6 hours.
Yeah.
But we'll just say it. If we go overnight until such a time as we want to pick up in the morning.
Yeah, that's cool. I think we'd probably get I think it was probably like 10 or 11 by the time we moseyed them out of the house.
Yeah.
And so I could
Some
imagine...
guests don't know when to leave.
Yeah. I'm assuming we'd get enough... We might even have enough time for a couple... so for me to have a full shift's worth of rest, and then sort of like you wake me up and Miller sort of explains, you know what, we got to wait a bit longer, I think, just to make sure that group is out of town. I reckon we've got another 4 or 5 hours if you want to. It's a few hours before sun comes up anyway, so you might as well get 4 or 5 hours worth of sleep, Davis.
I mean, how wired does Miller look?
Less now. He's 1 out of 3 on the stress level, that's for sure.
Yeah, because otherwise Davis was just gonna wait it out. But seeing that Miller does actually look,
yeah, last night
just like an on-edge soldier rather than.
Last night, I think, did wonders, considering how he was earlier in the day.
The crazy thing, Miller, I think I'd forgotten why we were actually here.
Well,
but,
I just want to get the hell out now.
Fair. And he hands him the pistol because it's a lot easier to use indoors.
Yeah.
and he is going to hunker down.
Yeah. Cool.
As you've been talking, the Soviet soldier has been listening the whole time, and he hasn't been saying much for the past few hours. But eventually, he says "Vada," and he just repeats that every few minutes until Wilson can translate it. And it's Polish; it's not Russian. And Wilson calls the other two over to him when you're both conscious, and he points to the word in the dictionary, which is defect. Look, I think he wants to defect? Like, defect? Like, that's a pretty specific word, don't you think?
I am going to heal some stuff because this is after we've had that second shift.
Yeah.
Feeling a lot better now. I'm just going to do something though.
I was like, what did you call me? A defect.
Defect to America.
Make it stamina roll.
What are you working on there, Christian? Oh, it's a 2.
Yeah, when Davis wakes up, he's still looking a little red around the eyes.
Oh, actually, that's a good point. Was I meant to roll to remove stress, or it's just automatic?
Nah, just automatic.
Okay.
You automatically get a health back, get a stress back.
Okay, cool. You okay there, Miller? Duh, Davis? That's me. I'm Miller. I'm doing great. Davis,
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just feeling a little worse for the wear, but we're almost out. You'll worry about it later.
Wasn't the meat, was it? I'd cooked that up pretty well.
You did.
It was like
barbecue around
almost
each your place
burnt.
when we get out of here, huh?
Yeah. Okay. I think he wants to defect, like Wilson said it. I'm just repeating what Wilson said now. Defect.
Defect to America.
And if he's happy to ride in the boot, we're not far.
Okay. All right. Miller's like, okay, defect. And he's like undoing the ropes from the radiator. But he's still keeping that pistol trained on, and he's like, you understand? Understand, right? Yeah?
He nods a bunch, and he just looks really happy.
Defect. He's like, how long is this drive going to take us realistically? It's like...
we can do 10 hexes in in one shift if we were on the road. So 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah. So it's like in a couple of hours. Defect, 2 hours. Yeah? Then he remembers how much fuel is left in the vehicle. And he's like, defect 5 hours.
Referee chat, I think we can move the
third.
Move the third?
Yes, yeah, for sure.
Straight to the river and then drown.
In fact, we've done like 2 shifts, so they will probably have caught up with the tank group.
Yeah, it's like 31 getting dicey.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, so Miller's just like, all right, we got to get this. Wilson, how you feeling?
Oh, guys, thank you. That bacon food and the old medicine. I am probably gonna be rubbish fighting for the next little while, but I can move my stuff around now. I think. Just, yeah.
So you take it easy. I'm just gonna get everything back into the car, and including this guy.
Everything, including. Wait, what? What is your name? Name. He says it louder and slower because that's how people understand. Name.
Dmit.
Okay. Well, I don't know how to say that. So, all right.
John. John Wayne.
John.
That's all. Okay. All right.
Okay, Mr. Wayne.
And he makes a motion like a cowboy hat.
Yeehaw!
John Wayne.
Yeah.
Nice.
Medically.
All right.
Yeah, your carriage, John.
Randall just goes, like, puts his hand on his chest. He's like, Miller. Okay. Davis and Wilson. Okay.
Medically.
All right, John. I like John. Come on, John.
And he'll help to carry some of the backpacks and stuff that isn't weapons.
Yeah, cool. And Miller takes him out to the car, opens up the boot, and puts him in the boot with the rest of the meat that was still in there. And puts the backpacks and weapons into the back of the car. Not the back, not the boot, but the back seat of the car.
Yeah, he'll hop in, no problem.
Okay, cool. You shush. You stay quiet, and we'll defect. Okay. And Miller heads back inside just to see Davis and if Davis and Wilson are ready to go.
Let's go, guys. We're nearly there.
Let's get on the road.
Yeah.
Hey, you good to drive, Miller?
I can give it a go. I'm probably better at driving than I am at patching people up. So
I can drive if you want, guys. Like, that's not going to use a whole lot of.
I think
easy.
You can just take it easy for a bit. We don't
Thank
want...
you, guys. Thank you. That was definitely a test, and you guys both passed. Thank you. I'm just gonna not a whole lot.
Yeah, I know you're a very good driver, but let's just try our best to keep you sealed up. Yeah, we don't want to reopen you.
Thank you, guys.
All right, and Miller's like gets under Wilson's arm just to like help him out to the car. All right, do I need to roll anything for the driving, or are we just good to go?
To drive, we can. You roll driving to see if there's a mishap,
Oh, okay.
which would happen somewhere in the shift. It doesn't happen immediately. It's just
Let's roll it. It's not a tracked vehicle, so I can't add my +1. All right. It's a fail.
okay. So we'll have a mishap somewhere.
How do we figure out what that mishap is?
You roll on the vehicle mishap table, I believe it is.
All right. So I think everyone gets packed into the car. They weave their way through some side streets before getting back onto the main street. You know, like just keeping an eye out, just to confirm that the soldiers have moved on, and for all intents and purposes, it looks like they have.
Sitting in the front seat, Davis has Wilson and Davis's flak vest, and he's just kind of trying, because they're both pretty munted, so he's going to try and salvage what he can from the two of them to make one working vest whilst you're driving along.
I think we managed to get back onto that main road, hit that crossroads, and let's say all this is downhill to the south. It's sort of kind of downhill, and we can see these like way off in the distance, this massive soldiers and tanks and stuff, of which we completely do our best to avoid by heading north. Miller's sitting in the driver's seat, is keeping an eye on that petrol, and he's like, you know what? I think we've got enough. I think we're going to make it. We might have to walk like a little bit towards the end there, and then he says, but this, and he's like tapping a part of the dashboard. This Davis, should this needle be on like in the red, and it's just the engine heat gauge is just like in the red, and suddenly like, and the engine you're sort of like listening out is just like revving really hard now.
Has it been doing this whole time? I'm sorry.
For about 15 minutes, I think. And as he's explaining 15 minutes, the car just goes, just like jolts, and smoke and steam just like pour up out of the bonnet.
Oh, shit.
The car has overheated.
Maybe we should have gotten you to drive, Wilson.
Oh, that stop. Oh, it hurts me right in the breather.
Davis has failed to get these vests to a workable state in that time as well. He's like, oh shit, could have done something with that, but I think we need a. Oh god, hold on, let me have a look. I fix people, I fix cars, I fix computers. Hey, I'm the Swiss Army knife of the U.S. Army.
I can help out. Like, I can talk to you about. I can talk like, guys. This other half lung is it's all right. I can get a few monologues in now. And let me tell you, he just goes on for like 8 to 10 minutes about cars and how he bought one, but no practical details. Just to how he got a good deal on his first car, and recently he bought one and he got the wheels upgraded and where he got them from. So and then the engine will be fine.
As he's getting out of the car, like he turns back to Wilson in the back seat and just like takes out the pistol, puts it in Wilson's hand, just taps the top of his hand, and then goes out and pops the hood.
Thanks.
What are you going to roll for this?
Well, he's got mechanic skill and a toolkit.
Oh
shit. Okay, well that's
like
all
I wasn't
right.
kidding. He's actually
that's great.
a mechanic.
Okay, that's
So
really
the
good.
toolkit doesn't add anything, but it means that at least I can attempt it.
Yeah.
So is it like a gateway? If you didn't have a toolkit, then you couldn't do anything?
Yeah, it says you need,
Gotcha.
if you want to repair something, you need spare parts, which is why I said I'm trying to combine the two vests into one, and then you need tools to do it.
Gotcha.
And yeah, just as he's like, all right, hold on, let me have a look, and pops the boot, and just this gust of steam. He's like, oh, fuck, what the? Oh, can't even get to that. Like, shit. We're not going anywhere anytime soon.
Damn it.
Oh, we're so close.
How and Miller like folds out the map. I think we're gonna be somewhere around here. How long is that gonna take on foot to get to Swerve?
I mean that. If we just head straight north, let me try and figure this out. I mean, it's pretty open terrain. It's not too. If we ditch the road and just head north, maybe we'll be there by nightfall.
Okay.
Maybe.
One last push, guys. Come on.
One last push.
Who's gonna piggyback me?
Wilson, how fast are you gonna be able to walk, bud?
Like, I can walk. Like, the secondary breather's back in action. But we're probably gonna have to have a few rest breaks.
I think so. This might be a very long day, Wilson. We've still got plenty of water, so if you need anything, you just shout out, okay, bud?
Okay, thanks.
And Miller's like, fuck, heads to the back of the car, opens up the boot, and I think the Soviet soldier's like freaking out because he heard this like an explosion. God, and they're freaking out. He's like, it's okay. Just the car, dead. Car's dead.
Fire American.
Okay. American car, yeah. Pulls the guy out of the back of the car, pretty nicely too, and hands him a backpack or two to carry. We're walk north.
He'll chuck quite a few onto his shoulders. Like,
Okay.
yeah, he's been carrying backpacks for a job, and that's what he does. So he'll grab a bunch of backpacks. He won't try to go for anything that's weapon or ammo related, just food rations and that sort of thing.
I think so. Miller's gonna sling over his shoulder like the M24, the AKM. He's got his knife in his little thing. He's like really getting everything ready. So nothing's in his backpack now. Everything is absolutely like anything that could be a weapon. he's clipping to himself or holding on to.
Yep. Davis is much the same. I mean, the surgical kit and the tool kit back in the backpack, but ammo is on the vest. AK over one. Actually, AK over Wilson's shoulder. Gets one arm underneath to just help him along. M16 on the other one.
All right. Should we expedite this? Because there's going to be an event card for each hex, right?
Potentially, yeah.
So we've got 2 or 3 to go? Yeah.
Oh, possibly because we're already. I tied this event to be the event on this hex, basically. So we can move a hex and then get an event card.
Yeah, let's do it.
So it might only just be the one. Is that how it works?
Oh, yeah, straight north, I see. Yeah.
So what we'll do is we need someone to lead the way with a scouting roll. Oh, sorry, a survival roll.
Okay. Who's good at survival?
Wait, I believe it's survival roll. We didn't actually go on foot in the longest time. Let me just double check. Travel. Oh wait, there's the other thing I had, which was the reference guides. Strategic play.
I can scrounge.
Like a boss.
Wilson's got empathy.
Tasks. Scrounging, sleeping, driving, fueling, marching, foraging, exploring. Marching. When marching on foot, players can travel 2 hexes per shift on road or an open terrain. We could do this in one shift.
All right. I still think is it an event per hex or an event per shift?
It's per shift, so I think effectively we're going to have to start a new shift here.
Yeah. Okay.
One more card.
Yeah, one more card, I reckon.
Yeah. So, yeah, if someone... Davis is going to keep an eye out, so he'll be recon in case something happens, just to see if he notices. So I'm going to roll my recon.
Oh, it's good.
So if an event does happen, we're going to see it before it sees us.
Okay.
Okay.
Can I click the draw encounter card button?
Please.
You can draw an encounter.
Oh, let's go. Oh. Okay. So...
Haven't we had this one already?
I think
Is that the one with the deer?
Yes. Our one had deer.
Yeah,
right.
Just like the deer one, but no deer.
Yeah. So again, another giant great crater just reminding us of our time here in Poland.
Pond of greenish water in the bottom, an area twice as wide as the crater is radioactive, inflicting 1 rad every stretch. To pass, a vehicle needs to go off-road and lose 1 hex of movement in the shift before it can continue.
We might lose a shift going around.
We're either going to need to go around it or risk radiation, I guess. Which I think Miller's just like, fuck. It's like, we've got, obviously with this war, we've got little, like, I assume we've got little radiation meters, like, that start, like, ticking as we get closer to this thing. Damn it. This is going to add another, like, 4 hours to our shift.
I mean, I'm not going to lie, I kind of really glow at night, so I can do without.
Yeah, we got to go around.
God damn it.
So we lose 1 hex of movement. So we don't make it to Wrocław quite yet.
So one more encounter as we continue.
In fact, we go to head up, but we have to move basically off to the around to get there. So we're going to start 1 more shift.
Go.
I roll recon again. Hey, if something happens, we don't see it happening.
And let's go for an encounter card. Boom!
The PCs stumble into the territory of a very hungry bear that has turned to attack humans. If the PCs are on foot, it will attack them for food. It's heavily irradiated, so any attacks that causes damage also inflict 1 rad on the victim. Eating the bear's meat will also give them 1 rad.
And we don't see it coming.
No, that thing's been probably stalking us, like irradiated.
Yeah.
It had been down at that pool and it caught a whiff of us, this
Perfect.
hungry ass bear.
Perfect.
And it's been following us for just kilometers.
Who's at the back?
Uh,
It's probably Miller and Davis. Oh,
Yeah,
sorry,
probably
Miller and
John,
Wilson.
John Wayne will be at the back.
Okay.
No, 'cause he's got in front of us.
We'd
Ah, yeah,
never
yeah.
let him.
The front.
Miller would never let him just
Okay.
freely behind us.
Yeah, it is. Oh, and of course, also the kind of lamer looking ones. So I
Yeah.
think it's just a matter of, we've gone out of this, past this giant crater, and like, okay, we're actually going to have to stay. Maybe we'll keep the road in sight and we can follow it up because we know that will eventually turn northeast towards Reislav.
Nice.
So like not walking on the road just in case something comes, but just keeping an eye on it. You can see the occasional power pole that has managed to stay up and whatnot.
This bear, like, his nose twitching because it can smell blood as well.
Wilson's kind of like breathing like Darth Vader. And it's taking up all his auditory senses. He's focused on just step, 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 step. So he doesn't hear anything around him other than wheezing lungs.
Yeah, Davis is like, it's good, mate. We're almost there. Like, again, nightfall. I mean, we'll be able to evac you somehow. The 34th, they'll have medics. They'll be able to patch you up better than I could. Although, I'm not going to lie, I did a bang up job.
I think Miller is maybe like only a step or two ahead of Wilson. Just like he's like, still got him in his sight, just checking on him every now and then. Every time he does one of those breaths of his that just sounds a bit wheezy, he's just like, "You okay? You right? Everything? You need a drink? You need anything?"
Let's go.
How do we decide who the bear attacks? What do we do? It's got to be either Wilson or...
It's got to be Wilson, right?
It's either Wilson or Miller.
It's Wilson or Miller. And you know what? Let's do... I'll go you 50-50 on a roll.
Yeah. Let's do
Odds and evens. So I'll go odds, you go evens. So we're just talking. He's like, "Hey, man, you'll be okay." And he's just like stamping along. And then the next thing that you would notice is just Davis rocketing past you as there's a sudden grunt and impact and like so a bit of a thumping noise and like slight turn, but not enough time to get fully around before Davis is just blown forwards. And I think we're in combat.
Yeah.
I thought it was going to be between Miller and I thought Davis was out front doing the recon, so I was like,
that was
Davis
confusing
was
for
keeping an eye out,
everybody.
like, had
right.
Wilson under the arm.
Okay, cool.
So I'll just I'll drag our peeps over here.
Mm-hmm.
All
Bear
of our
token.
peeps.
Bear token.
And
yeah.
a bear.
I was hoping there'd be a bear token.
Animals. How about
Oh,
Yeah,
there
perfect.
bear we go?
Here we go.
Boss fight.
And I think I can just go like that. And now we're all in combat. No.
Okay.
Oh, I've got to end the last combat. Now we're all in combat.
Oh, nice.
It says he's dead. He's not.
There we go.
He's not dead. Yeah, I guess we draw cards.
Cool. I'll draw for Soviet guy.
All right. Miller is drawing. Miller has drawn a 5. Bear gets a 1. I guess it gets a surprise round.
Wilson is 2.
Yep.
Soviet's 4.
Okay.
So the bear is going to attack Davis. So I'll give it the old roll. What can go wrong when you roll damage for your own person, eh? Hey, nothing at all.
Is there like a bear stat card or anything?
Yeah. If you double click on that bear face, it
Really?
comes up with the
Oh,
stats.
wow.
It's
Oh,
actually
that's cool.
really good at close combat.
And it's
Horrifying.
very strong.
It's so strong.
It's got all the health too.
Lots of health.
I didn't see the health. Let's have a quick look.
75.
Yep. So it makes sense. Yeah, it just plows straight into Davis, who gets thrown forwards with this bear following in close pursuit. Kind of hits the bag, but also Davis lands really badly, and then this bear is on top of him, roaring, spit flying in his face, and he's just like, "Fuck!" But he takes 2 damage, and he has no armor. So,
Oh, dang.
Oh,
Okay.
and I suppose he's going to take a coolness under fire to see whether he can react.
Shits his pants.
This is how the other Davis got done.
Yeah.
yeah.
Red runs in the family.
Ah, sweet. Just one bear. He's good.
Just the one bear. Do you want more? I'm fine with not more. Oh wait, we've got to begin combat. There you go. Wilson.
All right. Wilson didn't see this coming. He has sort of just got his pistol close enough to be relevant, and he'll quickly as he can pull it out and shoot it into the bear's haunches, safely enough away that he's not going to shoot his friend.
Now, you've got like -2 to a bunch of stuff at the moment. Does that affect your shooting?
So stamina and mobility, but
Oh,
not shooting.
Oh, so good.
Nice, nice.
So I click on ranged combat.
You should be able to click on your gun.
Okay. Click on the gun. Okay.
Oh, it's actually got a button for the paw attack I should have clicked.
Oh, that's cool.
That one? Okay, cool. And then I click on the gun. Cool. All right. He rolls for a pistol.
Oh, wow.
The bear, using his combat pistol, got a hit to the head for 1.
Oof. Nice.
So the combat pistol rings out and a 9mm bullet penetrates into the bear's fluffy dome.
What's the damage on a combat pistol? Is it 2 or 1?
I thought it was 1, but I could. Yes, 1.
And I just realized that the bear had 2 successes, which means it's the bear damage +1, which means Davis is looking pretty hurt.
Yeah.
Oh my god, alien flashback.
Yeah.
Guys! All right, that's Wilson's turn. Not that button, that button, or that button.
That button.
Yeah. All right, Soviet's turn. He's just going to charge into the bear and start punching it in the head. He'll be screaming in Russian, and you'll hear a couple of defects to America in there as well.
He's going to
Well, the bear really doesn't want to let this Soviet guy go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How do I roll this close combat attack for this guy?
Just probably close combat then, I guess. If you're just using fists, right?
Yeah, just click on the word close combat.
Okay, shall I just roll it under Wilson's?
No,
you can double click
I'll
the
roll
Soviet.
it for him if you want.
Oh,
Close
yeah, if you
combat.
can. Thanks.
Nice.
Punches
Yeah.
it, jump, hammering away.
Right into the bullet hole in its head.
Yeah. Managed to land in one of the radiation wounds that it has. And
Oh, all squishy and pussy
punches
and
in 1
nasty.
more damage. All right, it's the end of Soviet's turn.
Miller's like looking at like Davis underneath the bear, the Soviet soldier on top of the bear, and he's not willing to pull out an automatic like rifle of any sort. So
Get
he just
it off! Get it off!
yeah, he just grabs the knife from his thigh and just runs in to attack the bear with the knife.
All about that knife nowadays.
Well, you gotta.
Randall No Guns.
I just took off your cover.
Modifiers. There'll be no modifiers. Let's roll.
Not quite.
He runs in to go to stab, and he can't really find a means to get in there with the Russian soldier like clinging onto his back. He's just going to maneuver around to the other side and push that roll.
Yeah. The mouth side?
Yeah. That is a fail. And I get 1 stress from it.
1 damage, 1
Well,
physical damage.
It says damage or stress. So,
So what happens is because it's a strength or agility,
yeah.
that's physical damage, and then intelligence, empathy is a stress damage.
Okay,
Oh.
he goes to stab in it, and he manages to like graze his arms down like the teeth of the bear, like just with all the scuffling happening. So he takes 1 damage, and I guess that means he's got 1 rad as well. Since
Yeah.
I didn't think of that. Where's my radiation? Where do I put that?
Under. I did see it.
Yeah.
Oh, combat.
Oh yeah, I've got. Is it temporary radiation or is that permanent?
temp.
Okay, cool. All right.
Davis has 6 permanent from his training, so awkward.
All right. It's Davis's turn.
Yeah, so underneath the bed, trying to get an arm in front of the teeth rather than a face, Davis is also going to reach down and grab the Makarov, the pistol,
Nice.
and then just kind of blind fire into the bear area.
I feel like there's just like heaps of yelling, just like get him off my head, like get him, just yelling and screaming, and arms and knives and punching and stuff everywhere.
And because he is just going ham, he's going to add the ammo dice,
Yeah.
Do it.
the 1 ammo dice.
Shoot Miller in the head.
Now there is -2, unfortunately, because it's in the same hex and he's blind firing.
Yeah.
Okay.
So fingers crossed. Yeah, no, he's just pulling. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna die otherwise. He's gonna push and just keep pulling this trigger.
Do it.
Shoot Miller in the head.
That's a hit.
Okay. So he's just firing round after round after round. 13 rounds, in fact, pretty much the entire clip. Doesn't necessarily do any noticeable damage to this bear. Maybe like little bits of flesh, like just flesh wound type things, which distract it.
Like
in that
shooting
we
chunks
can
of its
see-
fur off. It's like grazing and just like shooting chunks of fur, freaking it
Yeah.
out with the sound of the bullets, just like bang, 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 bang.
It doesn't have a coolness under fire, but I feel like with this, maybe with the fact that I've rolled 2 suppression dice, it at least backs off from Davis.
Yeah.
And it is its turn next. So who's it gonna? It's gonna not maybe be a bit scared of Davis and leap
think
for
we're-
someone else.
We could 1d4 it.
Let's go.
Sure. Oh wait, 1d3. Can we do a d3 because Davis shouldn't be in that list?
No, well, Davis was on the ground, like the easiest looking food at the moment.
I guess I just thought that it might. With your suppression rolls, I want them to have some effect for you. I guess.
Yeah.
But we can d4 it.
Yep. We'll
We
d4. So we've got Wilson, Soviet, I'm just
In
going to
that
change
order.
that to say John Wayne.
So the order of the dice is the order of the combatants, yeah?
Sounds good.
Let's roll.
Yep.
And if the bear's suppressed, he loses his turn, right? But he's not suppressed because he doesn't have a coolness under fire?
I'll roll in the chat. It's
Davis,
no,
yeah,
no.
It makes sense. So it comes back through. He's shot. It kind of like circles around and roars, and then leaps back towards Davis, who is prone, so it gets a modifier.
I love that he's got a paw as a weapon.
I love that it's got a little picture of the paw.
Yeah.
Like if I wasn't being mauled by it, it would be really cute.
So it's a modifier of +1, did you say?
So the target is prone, so modifier of +2.
Okay, I'll roll this one.
Is it automatic?
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
That is a success on your arms, a damage of 2.
Oh.
Yeah, so it just comes screaming back through, and just like swipes at Davis, who goes flying in the air again. And this time Davis lands. The first time when Davis lands, you could see like arms trying to slow his fall, and this time he just comes down on his face, like not barely with it.
Beer.
So Davis is incapacitated.
Oh.
That's our first fully incapacitated player, right?
Yeah.
What is there a bunch of stuff we need to know about with incapacitated? Are you...
I
be
can
fine.
crawl, and you guys need to kill this bear, otherwise I'll probably die.
Okay, all right.
And I'll read up about incapacitated.
All right. So it's kind of like Alien, where all you can do is crawl and groan?
Yeah.
Yeah. Wilson.
All right. Wilson is already got his pistol up and trained on this bear, and he's gonna shoot all of the ammos. So do I set rate of fire to 2 to just go hard? That's the maximum the slider can go to.
Then yeah.
Okay, cool. And he's gonna pull the trigger. Davis! Bop, 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 bop. And he's gonna get no successes, but he's gonna remember the safety and then go again. So he's gonna push that. He knows his comrade's life is on the line. Go for the push.
Oh, no.
Weapon jam. That wasn't the safety. That was the. Oh, that was the. Ah.
And a -2 to the reliability, which I think does
Yeah.
it automatically. So that would have already affected the gun.
Yeah. So Wilson just starts swearing, frustrated he isn't able to help his mate.
Mm.
John Wayne, on the other hand, he's all about defeating this bear, and he holds one of the bear's ears and just pounds into his eyeball with his fist.
If he
Christian, can you
somehow
click the button?
like damages its arms, I'll be so amazed. Since he's punching its eye.
Yeah.
So we're doing? We're doing just another close combat.
Yes, please.
Yep.
All right, there we go.
Duh.
But he's going to push again. He's going to grab the other ear and start headbutting it.
He's definitely.
Yep.
gonna push.
Oh, there we
Boom.
go.
Whoa! 2
Putting it in
damage.
the arms.
He's holding on to its arms.
Yeah.
So,
gonna
you
find-
say that's 2 damage.
Yeah,
Yeah.
2 damage.
Bits of
The bear is
the
looking pretty beat up.
the bear's muscles that have been impacted by radiation. He's just going to start tearing at them. He's going to scream out, "De facto monarchy!"
And Miller is going to take another go with the knife now that he's seeing like the Soviet guy like just headbutting this thing over and over again. We got 1 success and 1 fail. Does that
Success is
cancel
all
out,
good.
or is that
No, it's success counts.
Well, that's
Yeah.
2 damage with this knife. He just tries to follow suit and tries to get up and under the jaw of this bear with that knife and hits its arms.
Describe it. The death of this bear.
I think it just manages to find like one of the main arteries in its arm and just like jams it up under the arm and pulls it apart, and just this spray of blood like shoots across onto the ground as the bear like howls and tries to limp away from us in its last few moments of life as it bleeds out down onto the ground with a heavy, heavy thud. Fuck this place.
Miller, Davis, he's ruined. Like, come on, shit. We're gonna help him out.
Yeah, Davis is not moving.
Oh, fuck yeah, Miller had forgotten. Did we take a point of stress for seeing that, by the way?
Weirdly enough, no, because it's not a. Oh, maybe because it's incapacitated.
That's what I was
Let me
thinking.
just check.
I think-
Stress.
I'm just
Yeah.
going to give definitely Miller's stresses back as he sees
Yeah.
after he saw that.
Wilson's gonna self-stress increase as well.
And Miller's just going to drop the knife and run to Davis. This is it. This is like all of that training, that one moment of training. He's trying to assess what he can do to help. What's he seeing? He's seeing like the damage to like his
The
arm?
massive scrape marks from where the bear's claw has hit Davis on that last swing, and then Davis is all scratched up as well from when they've been thrown around. You do see that Davis has the med kit strapped to their belt at the moment.
Yeah, and
They can grab that.
he grabs that and he tries to like lie Davis onto his back just to assess everything. He's like listening to his heart and he's like checking for your breathing and he's like seeing all some blood and scrapes. And he's just going to administer.
Wilson will help as well. He'll prep the medical kit and like pass Miller the different tools and components.
So do I get any sort of modifier with help? Do I get a thing?
+1 for help and +1 for the med kit. And that bear token looks cool with the little skull on it.
Oh, yeah.
All right, because I still have my personal med kit as well, but he'll use Davis's one, which is right there. No, it didn't roll.
Oh.
Roll. That didn't roll. Do I have to roll something else?
Are you on the bear?
I'll go medical aid, and I'll just do that there. Personal med kit +1. Ah, yeah, here we go. This is what I need to do.
Go on, successes. No.
He doesn't know if you're conscious or not, but for a moment he like is doing something and notices like your breathing just like stop. He's like, fuck. He just takes a step back and goes into like, remember the training.
Doctor's ABC, come on, let's go.
Oh, dude. Also, too stressed. Oh, you flip out. We were so close.
You just redlined it, right? You're out of stress.
I am out of stress. This is like he sees like Davis stop breathing for just a moment, and that's enough. Like he just stops. Wilson, you just noticed that Miller is now just kind of over the top of Davis, and he's just staring down, and he's just frozen, not moving at all. And he's like this, like the seriousness, just this real slow sort of breathing coming from Miller as he's just like staring, almost like he's getting angrier and angrier at Davis lying on the ground in front of him.
All right. Wilson, seeing the increasing blood, apply to some of these bandages around the wound area, just slowly, just doesn't talk to Miller, but just edges him away a little bit. And he's going to try and use his D-grade medical license to help.
Wait, just first of all, what happens when someone is like fully stressed? What is that? What does that look like gameplay-wise?
Gameplay-wise, incapacitated by stress. When you have suffered stress equal to or in excess of your stress capacity, you're incapacitated. You're paralyzed by fear or indecision or breakdown in despair. You can run for cover, but you can't perform any other actions that require a roll for skill.
Okay, so yeah, Wilson, you go to move Miller away, and he just like topples down into this like fetal position, and he's just shaking, and you can see he's not making much noise, but you can see his just eyes are just filling with tears.
Right, yeah. Wilson knows just how that feels, and he has a split-second decision as to who to help out first. And with the blood already starting to go into his hand, he prioritizes Davis, and he rolls for medical aid. And +1 for the med kit. All right.
Yeah, there is one left over, so that's...
And he rolls it, and he succeeds. He's like, oh, that he's in the... And he just tries to remember Davis's words from the previous day when a similar technique was done on him. It's all too fresh in his mind with the blood that he's lost lately. And he managed to stabilize Davis enough, he thinks. Like, he's probably spent a few minutes longer after he's completed what he thinks he needs to do, just to make sure it's not going to continue to bleed out or get worse. During this time, the Soviet soldier is just standing next to the bear, just kicking it repeatedly in the head. Just, kicking it. Davis, are you awake? Like, did I do it right? Is it over the stitch and then under the adhesive?
Everything hurts, which means I can feel it.
Okay.
I'll take that.
You stay right there. I'll be right back. I just gotta...
I'll be right here.
Oh, cool. Oh shit! And Wilson's gonna pull out a bottle of Charlie's Honest Squeezed water, and tip it over Miller's head. Mate, we're nearly there. Hang in there. He's just gonna like slap his cheek slightly and try and reassure him and describe to him. Look, I can pretty much see the 34th. Just hang in there, dude. Hang in there.
Wrocław is like right there. We can see it. It's off over to the northeast.
Yeah. And I'm
So
gonna
if you roll
roll.
for command, and Davis is going to be like, Miller, pull it together. I'm going to need you to carry me. Get your shit sorted. You can break down later.
So I roll command with a help.
Command with help. Yeah.
All right, so command +1, and I've got frontline leader for all that managerial training.
Hey, come on.
Let's go. And we're gonna roll.
Yeah.
Like he does a Keanu Reeves dust shake off.
Yeah.
We can do this, two guns. We can do it. 17 minutes of monologue, and then we will do it.
Is this for each success? Is that like a certain amount of stress reduction?
You get 2 stress.
Mate, that is like everything in your monologue is like hitting home. You're touching on like some of the reasons that he was there, everything that he's done to ensure that everyone else has lived, and you're talking about, you're almost there. You're so close to your dream of like settling down away from the war. You can't give up now, kind of stuff. And it takes like a lot of time, but you see that Miller slowly like relaxes the grasp on his knees, and he's like starts wiping the tears from his eyes, and he gets up and he's rubbing his face, and he just comes over to you, Wilson, and he just like wraps his big like massive arms just around you and just holds you close. He's like, thanks, man. Thank you so much, man. And he's like, Davis. And he just like slowly helps Davis to his feet. And then he gives Davis like wraps this big meaty arms around Davis as well. And he's just like, you guys are like brothers to me, man.
Let's go home.
Let's go, guys.
Let's go.
We're almost there.
I like the Soviet guy's got his arms out for a hug.
Yeah. Hey.
Not yet, John.
Not yet. You're not there.
Medici, then hug. Yeah. And John Wayne will pick up some of the backpacks, and lead the way to nowhere after he's directed where to go.
Yeah, Davis is gonna find some kind of like, hey, good work, Wilson. Good work. It's staying in. It's staying in, and that's where it's meant to be. So good work.
Yeah, like your words, man. I just keep remembering what you said with the blood and that stays in, and then the Okay.
I'll make a whole medic unit out of you guys yet. But I just find a big old branch, and he finds looking around and just finds some bit of maybe an old signpost or a tree branch that's long enough that he can make a makeshift crutch to help himself along.
Let's go, guys.
Cool.
I can almost smell the 34th spaghetti bolognese from here. We can get there. We can do it.
I think it's just like a long, slow last leg of this trip. We're basically on the road now, I think.
Yeah.
As we see that Wrocław like getting closer and closer.
Like night is falling because a lot's happened. So the quiet dusk turns into stars start to come out. It's a clear night. It's a clear summer night. And in the distance, there are the fires because electricity is long gone. So we start seeing the fires of Wrocław. We make our way through the city. Curious locals looking at it, these three just smashed-looking soldiers in their fatigues, plus one Russian who's just wandering around with them. But eventually we start getting closer to the makeshift camp yard with the American flag and NATO signage. I think our three guys have come all this way from Calais. Finally see the 34th.
A tear comes to Wilson's eye as he can see it. He's like, guys, we did it. We went through all that shit, but we made it. We made it. And the Soviet soldier would be like, not talking, but just big grin on his face. He's like, he's escaped. He is so happy.
Oh yeah, John, hands in the air, bud.
Yeah.
He's like on his tippy toes, twinkling his fingers like he's in a dance. He's got a pep in his step. He's made it out of the war.
And that's the win state was saving John Wayne, I reckon. That was perfect. Helping him to become an American. Awesome. I think that was awesome. I honestly wasn't sure if we'd make it at the end.
Yeah.
I was like, how funny would it be if this bear just tears everyone apart right at the finish line?
The wheels really came off in that last moment.
Yeah, I was gonna suggest, like, do we want to roll a lucky die to see if like the Soviet has like betrayed us as well, and just like teams up with the bear?
So for reference, I got Queen of Diamonds for that guy.
Oh, okay, nice.
Which is very helpful.
Oh,
so I was trying to make it as helpful as relevant, but go from there.
Yeah, awesome.
If I was running this myself for you guys, and we weren't like, okay, this is our 1 or 2 shot has gone for about 4 weeks. Let's see where it ends naturally. If we were all expecting this to run out a bit, I would have rolled a lucky dice to see whether the 34th were even still there or not.
Oh, yeah.
I was thinking that as well. I was 100. Can we just check that anyway? Just
because they could have gone like 10Ks south.
Because like that can still be like a really good ending. Is like showing up. So I reckon let's roll it anyway.
We've seen the flag.
This could give us a place to pick
up
at some other time.
So as they are approaching this thing, and armed guards come from the exits pointing rifles and yell out in...
Yeah. They're all in shadow lit from like the fires behind them.
They were like, friendly incoming!
Should we do an oracle to see if they're good or bad? Or do we leave it open until next time, if there's a next time? I reckon deal it, right?
Yeah, let's see what happens. Just
go for it.
Lucky diet.
Yeah. I'll go for an oracle card.
Okay.
And it'll be obviously red suits are good, black suits not good.
Okay.
It is the 8 of clubs. To put that into perspective, it is dangerous and strong, violent motivation.
So in a thick Russian accent, they yell out something, and John's face drops.
And that's a great place where we can pick up if we have time to delve into this more at a later point. But that's awesome.
Oh, after all that.
After all of that, yeah, Miller's heart just sinks.
Guys, that was fun. Thank you.
Yeah, that was super
cool. Great effort, guys.
I do like that it's just a miserable ending there, actually.
War whenever changes.
Yeah. That was super cool. Do we have final questions for XP or whatever?
Yeah. I tell you what, if we ever pick this up again, it's the 3 of them in prison.
Perfect.
Trying to escape or something.
I think that sounds awesome.
Character, develop your character. It's actually how I wanted to start a game once. Okay, so. Oh, I need my character sheet as well. So, number 1, did you participate in the session?
Yay.
Right.
Did you follow your moral code despite significant risk to yourself or the group?
quickly Google what my moral code is.
I did more so because mine's you can't save everyone, but you can sure as hell try it. So like ran over, checked on the Soviet, tried to let in those people
Yeah.
because we didn't really know about them. So
Yeah. I
I
think
don't know if it's
I didn't this time. Mine's you decide who lives and who dies, but this time he let others decide who lived and died.
Wilson had the world has fallen to shit, but you can rebuild it. And he feels like talking to some locals and talking to the Soviet. He's happy with that.
Yeah, cool.
yeah, I mean that's a big deal. Like in NATO forces, Soviet forces, and Polish populace all just actually sharing a meal together. That's actually I like that moment.
Drop Shadow said, good session, gents.
Thank you, Drop Shadow. Did you travel through at least one hex? Yep.
Yep.
A loose through one bear. Yes.
Yeah, speaking of, did you overcome one or more dangerous events using violent or non-violent means?
Oh, yeah.
Violent. Such violent means.
Oh, yeah.
Did you risk your life for the PC? Who is your buddy?
Everyone.
I don't know if Wilson... I don't know if Miller risked his life this time.
I didn't risk my life.
He
I
risked
did
his
get
sanity,
unlucky
but
rolls
his life-
twice.
Yeah.
Is being near a radiation-fueled bear risky? Like...
True. I mean, he did run in to try and help. Yeah, that's fair. We did try and help Davis.
You tried to get Davis up.
Yeah, because he could have run away.
That was, yeah, or laughed.
And that's us.
Okay.
5, you can get something to D. 10, you can get something to C.
I think I'm going to get survival. No, we'll go driving up to D since that makes sense.
Oh, yeah.
I think that makes sense. Since he destroyed a car.
Yeah.
He now knows,
Second gear the
don't
whole
do
way.
that. Yeah, that makes sense. How about anyone else? Anyone else spending?
I've got a total of 4 XP, so Wilson's happy to just use 2 lungs.
Yeah, I've got 7. So,
Oh,
but nothing I think I could get a D on.
okay. Cool. Well, that was awesome. Thank you so much for introducing us to Twilight 2000. I'm very keen to pick this up again at some point as well. I really like the way that it's been run. And even if we wanted to add another person in, I like the idea of them they just get smacked with the butts of guns and wake up in a prison somewhere. And that's a great excuse to have another player in as well.
True.
Meet someone in prison.
You're in the back of a truck, and the new player, whoever it is, they describe how their character comes to, and we're like, "Oh, you're awake."
Yeah.
Perfect.
That's perfect. That's perfect.
That's a Skyrim reference, Reagan.
I know that's a Skyrim reference. I've seen the internet before. I haven't played Skyrim, but I've seen the internet before. All right, so that means we're done with Twilight 2000. We'll be moving into Dragonbane. Now, what that also means is we're going to move to Tuesday nights for Dragonbane. Unfortunately, that means we won't have Christian with us. But we'll be bringing back some of the older players. We're going to have Adam and Shannon. We'll have myself DMing it. We'll have Reese there as well. And we're bringing in Jolene, a.k.a. Other Joe, for the
new older player.
Yeah. Who's coming back after her stint with the Alien RPG. So we'll be starting that. I don't know if it's going to be next Tuesday. I want it to be next Tuesday, but I have the 48-hour film festival this weekend, so I don't know if I'll have time to really plan and prep and get it in place. Is that Free League? It is Free League. And not only is it Free League, but we have 3 copies of the starter set, I believe, to give away.
I think it's the actual...
Oh, it's Roll20.
The actual game.
It's the core set on Roll20. We have 3 sets of the core set.
I think the starter set's free, so...
Oh, yeah.
We can give that away as well.
3 of those as well.
We've got a lot more than 3 of those. So, yeah, 3 sets of the core set, which would be fantastic to give away. So you'll be able to run your own sessions. So keep an eye on our Discord or Twitter, and I'll let you know when we're going to be going live with that. It might look, if I get fancy this week and within my spare time, maybe I'll get it up and ready, because it'd be cool to have at least that character creation session, and if there's time, then moving into the session, like first session. So we'll see. Hopefully next Tuesday, but we'll keep you guys.
We'll lucky diet.
Yeah, we'll lucky die.
Oracle power.
Drop Shadow says flag next week and good luck at the festival. Save your immune system. Yeah, I think that's probably going to be the case. But if we do have a session, it'll just be the characters and nothing else. So no big prep needed. So we'll see how it goes. Awesome. We'll see you guys then. Come say hi in our Discord. Here's the link. And I will just say, I need to do this more often. I probably need to do it at the start or middle of the stream. Come support us with our Patreon. We've got a group of awesome people who are supporting us every month. You get access to the episodes a week before anyone else does, which is reason enough. And after 3 months, you even get like a sweet little piece of art sent to you, which we might need to update that at some point. It's still just the Curse of Strahd art, but it's fantastic art. And you get that. But yeah, come support us. Every dollar goes straight back into the stream, whether it's picking up new things like Dragonbane to run for everybody, but also, Roll20 and D&D Beyond and all the other little systems, Sirenscape, yada yada yada. So please do show us your support, and we'll continue making this content for you, starting Dragonbane hopefully next week. See you guys all then. Thanks everybody.
Oh.